So we all run the same identical boat, and I think, you know, it really doesn't matter what engine you put on the boat, it's going to be an awesome performing boat. We all obviously have our preferences. Anthony has an Evinrude, right?
Yep, I do have a G2. I've been with Evinrude for a long time. I think that it's probably been, man, maybe 15 years or so. So, you know, I grew up in the old HO days, and right after the FICT, and graduated to the G2. I forget how many years ago it's been now. I guess 4, maybe 4 years we've been in the G2. I ought to know that, but I don't know it off the top of my head. After 18 years, all kinds of runs, blends together. But that Evinrude G2, in particular on this 205, is just, to me, it's just really impressive. The low end torque, you know, that's one of the things that, you know, that Evinrude prides, you know, itself with the G2, is just how much low end torque we have with that engine, without sacrificing mid-range and top-end speed. Fuel economy, the motor is really good on gas. It burns very little oil, and it's a 2-stroke. You know, a lot of people still, you know, to me, I see the advantages in having a 2-stroke, and there's some advantages, you know, to having a 4-stroke that they'll talk about, I'm sure. But, you know, for me, you know, and a lot of people, and I don't do it so much where I live, but I do on my pontoon. I have a pontoon that I keep at my dock on Lake Murray, and I do a self-winterization every fall whenever we're done. And, you know, with a couple shifts with the throttle on that one, you know, I can winterize it on my G2 out here. And that's not a G2 that I do that on, but my G2 here is just a push of a button, you know, on my little touchpad. And so, you know, if you live somewhere, especially a lot of people up north, they like to take advantage of that. You don't want to have to take your boat into a dealer and have to pay them to winterize it for you. You can do it with the push of a button. You know, at the start of the season, whenever you're ready to go, you just get in, you crank it up, and you go. You know, that's one really good benefit, and the no break-in. You know, we've talked a little bit about the break-in here today. Just, I like the fact that I can get in my boat with my new motor, and just, I can go. You know, I go fishing. I don't have to worry about, you know, running certain RPMs for certain lengths of time. The motor's going to run double oil, you know, for the length of time that it needs, and after that, it's gonna, you know, everything's good to go. But I don't have to worry about it. And so, you know, a lot of people don't have a lot of time. You know, we're kind of different. We got time to go out there and break an engine in, and, you know, 4 or 5 hours out on the lake for us is nothing. But for a lot of people, that might be, you know, 4 hours on the lake, maybe a month's worth of fishing. You know, a lot of people just don't have that time, and so, especially if you live somewhere, like I said, up north, where there's a condensed season, you know, that time is valuable to those people. So it's nice to be able to do that and not have to worry about that, and I can get in it and run, and I know it's going to get me where I need to go and get me back. And it's been a really good engine, and it just performs really well on that Falcon 205.
I'll let Brian go. Talk about, Brian's got a Mercury.
Yeah, so I'm probably I run a Mercury, and this year is my first year running a Verado. And I kind of toyed with that for quite a few months. I was always interested in a Verado, but I just wasn't quite sure of how it was going to perform on a bass boat hull, and especially, you know, I changed boats, manufacturers, and I changed engines in the same year. But I've been really thoroughly impressed. What I was looking for, I wanted something with a little bit more bottom end torque. I wanted a little bit better hole shot. And I've been traveling a lot. I fished the FLW Tour, that's 7 tournaments, and I'm also fishing the Bass Opens, that's another 4 tournaments, 11 tournaments, and I guide at home. So I literally go weeks on end using my boat every day. So even though a Pro XS never really used a lot of oil, I really didn't go through a lot of oil on that. Just not having to keep up with it, worry about it, period, was probably a big deal for me, just because I put so many hours on the engine over time. But I've been so impressed. I always thought, to be completely honest with you, I thought a Verado was sort of like an old man motor. I thought it was sort of like a saltwater boat, like a charter boat type deal. But that's a beast. That motor is a true high performance piece of equipment. When you hit the gas on that Pro 4-stroke, it's time to go. And I'm running 72, 73 miles an hour with that boat, with the 250 Verado. But here's the thing that I'm most impressed with that supercharged Verado. I run 72, 73 with just me, I run 72, 73 with 2 people. At, you know, if it's just a guy like me, I weigh 155 pounds. If it's a guy that's 255 pounds, 72 miles an hour. It just doesn't matter. If it's full tank, if I got my live wheels full, it's the same speed all the time. It's just got so much torque all the way through the power band that it just makes it the awesome tournament rig. So if you guys out there, you're thinking about maybe I want a Verado, maybe I want a Pro XS, I would tell you, you definitely would not be disappointed in the 250 Verado for sure. It was the best move I ever made. Almost disappointed I didn't switch years back.
Use it. Lost my contact.
Oh, you don't need those.
So I run a Suzuki. This will be going on my 3rd year in the Suzuki, and I mean, really the thing that speaks the most about the Suzuki is I've been in it almost 3 years now, and I have not had one single service call. I fished in the Elite Series the past 2 seasons, on the FLW Tour this year, and there is no service crew. All these other engine brands have a service crew 24/7 on the road. If something happens, you can go get it fixed, and there's always some boats there. I personally don't have that, but I haven't needed it a single time. I do carry a spare lower unit and just like a couple impellers just in case, and some props, but I mean, I haven't had one thing. So that should speak for itself right there. 3 years running, not a single problem. And a really good story I heard from one of the oldest Suzuki dealers that I know down at Lake Okeechobee says that he said that when he's been selling for 30-something years, and when he sells a Suzuki engine, he just goes ahead and shakes the customer's hand and tells them goodbye, because he knows he's never going to see him again, ever. Hands down, end of story. He's never seen a lower unit, because that's the thing that happens the most, is gear cases go out, lower units go out. Other than, you know, impact, he's never seen a Suzuki lower unit come back. They're super reliable engines. They're fuel efficient. They have awesome mid-range throttle, quiet. There really isn't anything bad that I have to say about the engine. I love it. I have no plans in the near future to ever even consider changing. You know, that's the engine that I'm going to be running for the foreseeable future. And if you're thinking about switching to the 4-stroke, and looking at a Suzuki, it's a little more affordable than all the other engine brands. They're quick, they're available, so make sure you check them out if you're in the market.